So in general, your feelings on the safety of walking through Dublin at the moment are?
Despicable.
Anytime you walk in the city centre, you will never fail to see like some sort of madness.
Every single time I come up to Dublin, which is every couple of weeks, I can see the decline, the degeneracy, the absolute chaos and mayhem.
What you do, where you do it, and they also want you to pay for that pleasure.
It doesn't matter about skin colour. It matters about these individuals coming in and causing the chaos.
It just seems like a further decay of Dublin in my view. You're very welcome to Dublin, Ireland. We're going to a gathering of people at the GPO to march to the civic offices, because the civic offices at the moment are attempting to put a halt to voluntary homeless services that are feeding the homeless in Dublin. I'll tell you in advance, it was yesterday, I just didn't do an intro, so I'm doing the intro now. So we started off with about 40 people at the GPO. We marched to civic offices where we handed in, not demands, we handed in a list of things that we thought were a bit unjust about the situation. How's it going, brother? What's your thoughts on what's happening today?
It's absolute madness. You protest out here.
Why is it madness?
Sorry?
Why is it madness?
It's madness because there doesn't seem to be a good communication barrier between the guards and the actual protesters.
Do you agree with what's happening with the protest?
I agree that people have a right to protest. People do have rights, but then you have the likes of this woman here that has mental illness.
Lisa, I'm chatting to someone.
The likes of this woman that has mental health issues, and then the guards don't know how to deal with that, and then they end up giving out these. This is the reason why the jails are full, because you have all of the likes of people that are genuinely doing very minute things like maybe loitering, maybe throwing rubbish on the floor, stuff like that, and the capacity of the jail is at max. And it's crazy.
So what do you think of the changes in Dublin, as long as you've been here? Maybe you've always been here, I don't know.
I've been here 22 years and 22 years old. I've been here all my life.
Are you joining in this march?
No.
You're not going to it? You just there, Sean. It's nice talking to you, bro.
No, I was just walking by and because I'm a townie, as us townies, we're kind of like Elvins, we like to know what's going on, and you know what I mean, just to see. But like anytime you walk in the city centre, you will never fail to see like some sort of madness, some good madness. It's not all bad. Dublin's not all bad, but it has its bad parts, like everywhere else has. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own issues. I have my own issues, you know what I mean? But look, it is what it is.
It is. Lovely talking to you, bro.
Lovely
to hear your opinion. I hope I meet you again.
Nice to meet you. See you again.
Cheers, bro. So, Adele, how do you feel about Dublin at the moment?
Hi, thank you for this opportunity. As somebody that doesn't live in Dublin and has been travelling up to Dublin, culty for since 2019, and obviously much before that, every single time, and I say this to my Dublin friends, every single time I come up to Dublin, which is every couple of weeks, I can see the decline, the degeneracy, the absolute chaos and mayhem. Go around to your neighbours, tell them what's going on, get out of your town, go up to the squares and tell people what's going on.
Okay.
If you don't, our future is lost.
So in general, your feelings on the safety of walking through Dublin at the moment are?
Despicable. Dublin has gone to chaos with all these stabbings, especially what happened up in South Ann Street thing with those people from the Ballyogan IPAS Centre. If they were vetted, why are they allowing coming in? Why are they allowing them into the country? If they, especially one wanted in Italy, the one that got killed.
Right, he was on charges already.
He was already on charges in Italy.
Right.
And why did they, if they're supposed to be vetted, how come he slipped through the net? How come these people that are already, these illegal migrants, how come they already have criminal records in other countries and have slipped through the net coming here? There's stabbings, there's not only stabbings, there's all these fights, people pulling out knives, a lot of migrants pulling out knives. Why are they allowing the migrants to carry these knives? They're giving out about the Irish people, telling us that we're not allowed to carry weapons. How are we to defend ourselves against the likes of that? The women and the children, they're definitely not safe in this country. Anywhere, doesn't matter if it's Ballina, if it's Sligo, if it's Galway, Cork, it doesn't matter what county you're in at the moment. As the whole of Ireland is unsafe with these illegal migrants that are coming into this country. And it's not all migrants. Let me emphasise that it's not all migrants that are causing the problem, because we have plenty of migrants in our own country that have been here for years and they've adapted to our society. They work, pay taxes and help the economy grow. It's not all migrants that are causing it. It's only a certain factor of migrants that have come into this country, and they all seem to be the male variety from Afghan, Indonesia, outside of the Ireland that are coming. And there is some Eastern Europeans as well. It's not just blacks, whites, greens. It doesn't matter about skin colour. It matters about these individuals coming in and causing the chaos. You know, and it's not right for the government to allow this to happen. They're going on saying we have to stop this knife fight. They're the ones who are allowing them into it. They're the ones who should be kicked out of office. They shouldn't be in office at all, because they're allowing all this to come into the country. They should be stopping it at the borders. The borders should be totally closed, and we should be looking after our own Irish homeless are on the streets. What are they doing? They're getting the coppers to take the tents off and moving them out on the streets because they're trying to get somewhere to. Yeah, they're putting these illegal migrants into IPAS centres, into homes, and giving the Ukrainians the homes instead of their Irish first. Look after their own first, then they can start looking after the outside of the Ireland.
It was a good day. There was no trouble. As I've said, I didn't think there was much problem from the police. To be honest, I didn't. You know, I was chatting with police. To be honest, I thought that they might be on our side with this. To be honest, but they can't say that, can they? But in talking to them, they were kind of heads down, and I don't think they wanted to put any pressure on it. There was patrol units in case there was any grief, but there was no grief. There's no grief. That's not what it was about. We have these groups of people. One of them, of course, is the one I'm most attached to. That's Polly's Gardener Remembrance Volunteers, where it's a weekly thing. It's not about is the food cooked enough. The volunteers all cook food at home, and there's a choice then for people who are there. There's loads of food, teas, coffees, but apart from anything else, in my view, it's a social thing. It's social. There's absolutely no substances ever. You might see a couple of drunk guys, but there is no substances. There's nothing for sale. It's not like that. I've mentioned it in other videos. I'll put a link up to the other videos that might describe it a little bit better. I think these things are very important to get involved with. I really do, because this won't go down well. But there are services providing food in Dublin that at this stage, people who I would consider, probably a bad phrase, but hardcore substance abusers who won't go to the places I'm not going to name for food because they're scared. And they're scared, and you say, why? And they say, there's too much substances being sold there. So they won't go. These handouts, soup kitchens, you might call them, are extremely beneficial to the people on the streets. I always take away food from these places that they give me to hand out on my way through town. And it's generally a big box of chocolate and a few sandwiches. And chocolate, of course, goes down very well with the people who abuse certain substances. Now, it's not all people on substances, it's homeless people. I love it there. I think the people are very polite. I like the guys, I like the people who set it up. But following video anyway was the us as a group bringing our thoughts up to the civic offices. Someone recorded inside, the information was passed over, and we'll see how it goes, because if we get rid of soup kitchens and these voluntary services that are, it's not a commercial venture, these are just people. This one in particular I'm talking about started up during the plague from China, when you couldn't even hand money to homeless people because you couldn't touch money, and there was no food available so they couldn't get food. So the plan was to stop this regulation coming through, that these voluntary services aren't stopped doing what they're doing, which would be an awful shame. It'd be an awful shame if they do get stopped. And my gut feeling is that with enough pressure from ourselves, which there was yesterday, or pretend it was today, I think something will be done about it, and I sincerely hope so, because these people deserve something more than just food. It's a friendly face, it's someone who knows their history, their illnesses, helps them in certain situations. There's a guy today, I was there today as well, there was a guy today, it was his birthday. I had to lift him up to get there. He was on Henry Street, crashed out on the ground on his birthday, and I lifted him up. He got there in the end, and there was cake from him, and he was crying because it was his birthday, and no one really realised that. So he was given a bit of a cake and a bit of someone sat down with a guitar, played him songs, and so it's I think it's priceless. I think these are priceless services that I would be very distraught, unhappy, don't know what the word is. I would be upset if they get stopped. So, fingers crossed, what happened at this demonstration, march, whatever you want to call it, what happened, I hope was successful.
We have a letter here that we're going to be delivering to Dublin City Council because according to newspaper reports, they want to issue new bylaws on charitable street services that offer food and comfort. They now want to regulate, control and decide what you do, where you do it, and they also want you to pay for that pleasure.
To pay for a licence to operate.
Right.
Regulated.
Polly is on the ground floor.
Oh, I know Polly well.
She provides this service, and these new bylaws are going to seriously impede this service, not just for Polly and her great bunch of people who are up in the Garden of Remembrance, but a whole load of other groups as well.
Yeah,
I know.
This is more about control and than anything else.
Yeah.
So I'm giving them nothing to
Give you an opportunity to get in trouble.
yeah.
I
I'm giving them no opportunity to try and do anything. As we can see, they've got the paddy wagon all laid out. We've got the arrest van that has been following us since the GPO. So I find that intimidating, actually.
We do not need your license to care. We already care. We innately care. It's in our culture, and it's in our hearts, and it's in our souls. There's men, women, and children where we have just come from, sitting in the pouring rain. So our challenge to Dublin City Council: come out, sit in the rain for a few days, get the proper statistics, get the proper data, and then come back and do your report. Down in Síochána, who are living in their cars. They're living in their own cars and telling nobody. We cannot sweep this crisis under the global mat just to suit a few tourists. So Dublin City Council, shame on you.
have a word with any of you guys?
If she wants to stand out of rain, she can.
No. So none of the guard will talk to us.
They have someone ready and everything.
Because there was a guard down there a minute ago, I'll tell you why I said it, right? This is because we asked them to give them a leave, and right, you know what he said to us? We're going to throw it at the bin. And that's what we want to see handled personally ourselves.
Yeah,
Am I lying? Am I lying?
No, it's on camera.
I won't be taking that.
He did say it, didn't he?
Someone in there.
He says, oh, we just throw
I'll bring it in though. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, we have the guard said
No, he's going to bring one person in to hand it in. He's going to
Oh, fair play.
escort someone in.
It's all sorted. We're here to help you as well, as best we can.
I would appreciate that, yeah.
I'm starving. He said, someone said, what do we get?
Why have you ever been here to help the orders?
Huh?
Why have you ever been
Why
here
aren't we saying bad things?
One person has been allowed in to deliver the letter to the council, but they won't let us all in. I can understand that. Police seem handy enough, really, you know. Have you look? Not up for a conversation, but they're here all right. Sorry, can I go in and record this?
Somebody in recording it already?
And can only one go in?
Yeah.
And what's that based on?
Pardon?
What is that based on? Honest
That's the
question.
agreement to have there with them, so that's it.
With who?
Staff inside.
With the Dublin Council? And
That's what they said, yeah.
okay, thank you.
Letter's been in person. It's been recorded in there.
The task force report suggests that on-street charitable services in high-profile locations compromise the privacy, dignity and safety of their users, while also contributing to antisocial behaviour and degrading the public realm. We look forward to engaging in a meaningful dialogue with the Council to find solutions that genuinely benefit our service users rather than hinder the vital work being done by them.
Well done, Kathy.
Thank you.
Yay!
Yeah. We've just handed it in. We've used an email for Wake Up EIRE. Hopefully we'll get a response. There will be a consultation. They haven't done it yet. We haven't actually seen the bylaws yet. Everybody should watch the website, and as soon as this consultation is put online, spread the word and voice your dissent for these new bylaws once the consultation comes in.
So that was it in a nutshell. I wonder what your thoughts are. Please drop them in the comments. Of course, please subscribe if this is your thing. If it's not, they're grand. It was an interesting day yesterday. Let's hope something comes of it. Please leave a comment. Throw in your ideas. What do you think was a good idea? Do you think it was a bad idea? I'd be very upset if all of these things are closed down. All these voluntary soup kitchens, we call them, for want of a better word. Yeah, I'm very upset if they shut down. But it just seems like a further decay of Dublin in my view. So we'll leave it at that. Aaron, goodbye.